everybody, and welcome to Worth the Calories. I'm Matthew Vose.
And I'm Catherine Vose.
This week, Terry was back from being ill.
Poor Terry.
Possibly not at 100%. Prue was off from being ill, and now I'm ill with a sore throat. So, apologies for the husky sound going on right here.
I like it.
You can put away your hankies now, having watched the episode. We will dry the eyes and discuss the episode. Spice Week. An interesting idea.
It is, and maybe it's just not one that calls to me, because, I mean, don't get me wrong, ginger, all over a bit of ginger.
Yep.
Other spices, clove biscuits, don't really appeal to me. Cardamom biscuits, again, not so sure.
I'm almost surprised it was all about biscuits, particularly, or things like that with spices in. They didn't try and elaborate it a bit more with actually something you might cook with a spice in it, maybe. But
meh.
C'est la vie.
C'est la vie.
Our signature challenge was a ginger cake. Were there other restrictions on it?
No, I don't think so.
Was it layered or drizzled?
No,
or
I think it was just a ginger cake.
Oh, it had to be very gingery, but could have other flavours.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Quite a mix, I would say. So last week, the challenges were hard for reasons of technicality and timing.
Yeah.
The challenges themselves would have been fine with more time.
Yeah.
This week, I think we've gone the other way. The challenges are hard.
Yes, I think so. And I think also, I think some people missed the brief that this was Spice Week and were falling down on the taste and the flavours. And I guess it's harder to get the flavours spot on. Mm-hmm. But yes.
Yeah, I'd agree, yeah. So where they sound simple... So, like, the chandelier at the end has a lot of technical elements to it, but actually you're right, yeah, it's Spice Week, so it should be about the flavour. Ginger cake is, in theory, very easy to do, but that means you've got to do it really well.
I was amazed by how many of them they ended up saying, I can't taste the ginger.
Yeah, too much apricot, obviously too warm and condensed. There are other issues with some of them. Yeah. Too much brandy, which, yes... Yeah, alcohol can be very overpowering very quickly. Perhaps not baked off enough. The rum one didn't become ginger, which is a real shame because I would have loved that cake.
Yeah.
That's right up my street.
And she was very confident that it was going to be gingery, wasn't she? Because at the start she was like, if it's not gingery, there's nothing more I can do. It's like, well, it's not gingery, love.
No, gonna put more ginger in it, yeah.
Yeah.
I particularly liked opening with Prue talking about, if you use fresh ginger and you leave it in the oven, it's not going to go very well. And then we instantly cut to people using fresh ginger. One of them tells her, and they just focus on Prue for a second of...
Yeah.
Are you?
It was very interesting to me that they did use fresh ginger actually in the cake, because it would never even occur to me to use fresh ginger in a cake. Maybe in some of the fillings.
Yeah, or the decoration.
Exactly. But not in the cake itself. It seems like a weird ingredient.
Yeah, I would agree as well. And it added to their time of doing the chopping and getting it ready and yeah.
Nobody enjoys grating fresh ginger.
No, absolutely not. Dan had the problem. So I was thinking when they were showing us the whole thing of, you've got to do the syrup very slowly or it might split. And then no one seemed to have any problem with that. I was like, oh, okay, they're just trying to force the drama now. But no, then it came back with him thinking he had cheese in it and having to start all over again. Now, it didn't come out too badly for him in the end. I think they understood what had happened and that there was a problem there. But he'd still kind of actually managed to rescue it. It didn't look too bad. It was too warm when it served.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I think if he'd had more time, but obviously he lost himself some time. If he'd had more time, it would have come out really nicely. It looked like it had the makings of really good cake.
Yeah. So that's a shame. But we got several handshakes.
We did, and I think it's a very handshake-filled season this season.
Yeah, this has been a discussion online.
Yes, there were 3 handshakes in this round, weren't there?
And the first for a woman this season, maybe? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either. Okay. No, I'm not sure. I think, Kim Joy's was lovely. I loved the addition of the little gingerbread house.
Oh, yeah.
Very cute, very cute. And I think... she seemed very confident in what she was doing. So I don't know how often she's practiced. She does actually seem like someone who would practice as well. But she seemed very assured that it was going to happen. So, yeah, no, very much like Kim Joy's. I thought Rahul's looked great. I would quite happily have taken that home and chomped my way through it.
Yes. And again, caramel flavours that you would have enjoyed. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's... In some ways, I mean, I know he obviously didn't win this week and didn't win last week, but in some ways, some of what he does seems to be a class above the rest.
Yeah. It's reminiscent of Ian from season 5 or 6.
Uh-huh.
Who made all his own stuff and brought it in and was just showing everyone and getting Star Baker, I think 2 or 3 times in the beginning of the season.
Yes.
And it forced everyone to raise their game, seeing how good someone was, and he had nowhere to go to.
Yeah.
Now, Rahul has never struggled.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't.
So it will be interesting to see what happens when either everyone catches him or, for whatever reason, it just doesn't go well. He can't hit the brief or he can't get the flavours right.
So, yeah, we'll see. Fingers crossed. Because also he is so tense.
Yes.
And I worry that if something went properly wrong, he'd totally implode. He doesn't seem to ride with the punches. He's got his heart on his sleeve and it's all invested in getting huge amounts of praise.
Yeah, absolutely.
But what I really did like about Rahul is that he totally takes all of his experiences and pulls them into his baking.
Yeah.
It's
so with the fireworks night.
Yeah.
Ginger cake. Yeah, really nice.
Yeah, very nice.
And who else got the other handshake?
Manon. Who said, I didn't practice.
As much as she might have said she didn't practice, she clearly knows how to do Italian meringue very, very well. She clearly knows how to do a bit of chocolate and how to use a blowtorch on it, and then can do a ginger cake very well.
And makes a beautiful lemon curd.
Yes, yeah.
So she obviously knows she just knows how to do all the ingredients and is confident in pulling them together.
Absolutely.
So she doesn't actually need to practice that much because she knows she can pull it off.
Do you think she was spending her time this week practicing the chandelier? Because that was you would have had to have put a lot of thought in doing that one and a lot of figuring it out.
Yeah, and you would have to have practiced that one just to be confident that it wasn't all going to fall to bits.
And given the amount of time she had to spend on hers doing the checkerboard and things.
Yeah, hers was beautiful.
Yeah. But we're talking ginger cake.
Yep.
I would have eaten most of them.
Yeah,
They
me
seemed
too.
Very nice.
Me
They were
too.
very well done.
And I must say, like, everyone was saying, it might end up all claggy. I love a claggy ginger cake.
Yeah, it is a wintry cake.
Yeah.
So having something a bit heavy and a bit filling to it.
Yeah,
that works.
nice.
Yeah. Terry's pear and ginger, I'm not sure about. I'm not a pear person, though. So
it's either going to taste amazing or just be too gloopy.
Especially as a kind of upside down cake concept.
Yeah, it looked a bit wet.
So the technical challenge, we came to making 2 batches of 6 mammals, of course.
Yeah, I get them down Safeway every week.
This was an interesting one. At the beginning of the season, I'm sure there was a thing about doing simpler bakes to allow people to try them as well and to get into it. This is a bake that involves specialist equipment, very small amounts of specialist ingredients. So it's not even like I'll buy a pack of this and I'll use all of it. I will use a very small amount. And no one had ever seen them. And then it even seemed at the end that the ones they had as the demonstrations for Prue and Paul were different from the ones they were actually making, potentially. So I'm not entirely sure I've actually seen one yet.
No, because the ones that they made that they had for Prue and Paul to eat, the decoration on it was so intricate.
Yeah, it had many holes.
I don't think any of them could ever have been expected to produce something that sort of intricate. It looked like a beautifully overlapping ball of yarn.
Yeah, it had a sort of lattice thing going on. Yeah, so it's interesting.
I guess the point of it was to see what their skill was in assessing how much spice to put in the mix. And I think that's where Ruby won. Or how Ruby won, because she was just tasting and making sure the flavour of her spice filling was perfect as she went along. And I think that's probably what won it for her, because a lot of them, the outer, the pastry, they were all the same. Yeah. Apart from poor Terry, who melted his to whatever. But yes, so I guess that was the thing that Paul was looking for, that sensitivity to flavour and spice.
Yeah, I would utterly agree with that, actually, because Karen and Terry both had issues.
Yep.
So they came bottom. But then the ones who were lower, I've got, too much mastica, too much too much of the flavourings, and not much filling. And then suddenly it comes to well-baked, really good flavour, really good filling. Yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right on that.
So, because I guess that's the only thing he could really distinguish them between them. But I'm not very inspired by baking moulds.
No, I would be. I really like the idea of using the mould and using tongs and doing something interesting and doing a sort of biscuity filling, because the closest thing I can compare them to from what I've seen is like a fig Newton. That sort of very close filling. It's not sort of sandwiched or anything. It's actually something wrapped around something else.
Yeah.
So I would be interested, but also it appears to be like £20+ for each of the bits of equipment and then lots of ingredients we don't have. So at the moment, I'm not sure I'm even going to be able to attempt this in the time frame we have. And it is a little disappointing because a blancmange is not the most interesting thing necessarily, but
I'm quite excited about doing the cat's tongs.
Yeah, exactly. It will be an interesting thing to do. Doing naan is a great recipe. It's a great thing to test because there are lots of bits of skill to it, and then it's a thing everyone can have a go at.
Yeah.
This is something I look at and go, oh, probably not. So if you listen and you make mamoul and can make mamoul or have made mamoul, do hit us up. I would love to hear about this. At the moment, I think the thinking is that we might go and buy some. Just to at least have tried them?
Definitely.
I'm sure there are plenty of bakeries in London that we can get them from. So, but
or perhaps if you're listening and go, yeah, I've got some spare mastic and rose water and one or two handy mamoul moulds. We'd love to borrow them.
yeah, I would absolutely give it a go if I could get my hands on the stuff, but not in the time available, I think.
No.
That's the big problem with it. So, we then get to day 2. The showstopper, Prue was off ill.
Poorly Prue.
Now
she's all right.
I think we'd seen... can't remember the names now. That's bad. Mel and Sue. I think we've had Mel and Sue, one of them off ill.
Right.
Obviously, Sue was quite ill for a bit. But we've never had one of the judges off. I think maybe Mary might have missed a day or something, but...
I don't recall
I can't remember it, yeah. So it was all Paul for everyone to do a spiced biscuit chandelier. I'm pleased that we got to see him being taken to task over this.
Yeah, Dad was a bit like, what are you making us do, mate?
Yeah, it's a very strange idea. Like, I can see what they're doing about it's supposed to be a showstopper or a centerpiece or this kind of thing, but it feels a little out of left field.
So last week's with the chocolate melty mould, I had my issues over whether this was a realistic thing to make them do. I like you have similar issues with this week. It's like, are they designing these things with inbuilt potential danger? Do they just want it all to go wrong?
Yeah.
You know, would they have loved it if someone's chandelier had all just fallen over?
Yes.
I bet they loved having poor Bryony with her melty chocolate ball.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. Yeah, makes good TV. So, yeah, I have
you think
issues.
You think back to what they've done in the past where it's been, we want you to make this thing that used to be used in 17th century dinner parties, and we're going to go off to a monastery in France where they still make it in the traditional way. Now, we don't get any of the historical stuff anymore. For better or worse, I could stand a little bit more of it. Not every week.
Not as much as it used to be at the beginning.
No, absolutely. Although that would add a lot to the production cost, so I can sort of understand taking it out. But just coming up with this idea of, hey, what if we made them make a load of biscuits and hang them from a chandelier? So like, okay, Paul, just sit down. We'll come up with something for you. It's fine.
I mean, executed well, it can look amazing. Although, arguably, I'd say the only two that looked actively amazing were Manon and Kimjoy.
Yeah.
Everyone else, even Rahul, looked a little bit shonky.
A little bit ropey. Like there were biscuits hanging from... Yeah. When we first saw the clips of it, I thought it was going to be a thing you put above cradles.
Oh, like a mobile.
A mobile.
Mobile.
Yeah, I thought it might be something like that, which I was like, okay, that's weird. But then, I see, even as we're talking about it, Is this any different than make an animal out of bread?
No.
No.
Not really.
But you could see people doing that. You can't see people doing a chandelier of biscuits.
And a self-portrait out of biscuit.
Yeah.
So I guess it's also, hey, we've made many, many series.
Yeah, true.
What else can we do?
Yeah.
Biscuit chandelier, anyone? Because, it must be hard to come up with new showstoppers that haven't been done before. It must be hard to come up with new technical challenges that haven't been done before.
Yeah, probably so. Although there are lots of things around the world that are randoms.
And I suppose you wouldn't want to do a technical challenge that has been done before, because in theory, a really well-prepared participant would have, if not made them all, at least spent a good bit of time investigating how each of them was made.
Yeah.
It's like prepping for your exams, isn't it? You do
Absolutely.
all the past papers.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. So, making the spice biscuit chandelier, we had... I'm not sure everyone even had necessarily a really good design on it, because the chandeliers did not get any attention.
No.
Like you say, Manon's and Kimjoy's, because they'd done something a little extra. But by and large, the thing they were hanging them from, the large biscuit at the top, did not get mentioned or looked at or tried or anything. No. It was all about the biscuits. So I could see that everyone had good ideas on them, but they came off to very different extents.
Yeah.
I feel like Terry was always a little resigned by this point.
Quite possibly. And actually, if he'd spent the last week or so being ill, he's not going to have had much time to think through and practice, and he's probably feeling very uncertain, having been out of the tent the last weekend. He looked a bit, he just looked a bit wobbly the whole way through, bless him.
Poor lad. Ruby did a very nice peacock.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure blue biscuits are the way to go. Like, hey, here's a biscuit, it's blue. Ooh, yummy. But it did look very nice. I think she looked a bit cross with herself for not being able to get her filling together. But again, they're stymied by both the heat and the time. I mean, you can't do it in the winter. No one wants to hang out in a marquee in the winter.
No.
But they've had a few years where, this year in particular, having a number of hot days has probably not been very helpful.
Yeah. And the way Paul was talking to her about it, I feel like they've been told, consider the heat when you're putting your bakes together.
Yeah.
You will get no consideration for it. You will have to do it.
Yeah.
And to have then gone, I'll use a
melty ganache.
Yeah.
And did she have white chocolate last week? Was Ruby a part of the white chocolate posse?
Yes.
Yeah. So again, super melty.
Yeah.
And
hers cracked, in fact, and she served it as a half sphere, didn't she? Yes,
yeah. So like double heat sensitivity.
Yeah. But she seems to be learning.
Yeah.
She like we said yesterday, whenever you're listening to this episode, she has been fairly realistic about it and sort of figuring it out. And I feel like we saw an improvement from her this week.
It's almost like she came to work this week.
Yeah.
You know, like some of the other weeks she's been all sort of... Oh, sorry, I'm dancing around a bit here. You clearly can't see me. That's really good. But, you know, like she's been all showy-offy, lots of jokes, lots of loudness, which I don't object to. But it's almost like this week she's...
Pot and kettle.
Yeah, exactly. You know, but it's like this week she's come in and she's gone, right, I'm going to get my head down.
Yeah.
Focus, get on with it.
Yep.
So...
Yeah, and I think we got that sense from everyone. Because they were showing us, it's so serious, two people could go out, it would be so easy to go out. But everyone has said that every week of, it's so easy, I've got to make sure I do this really well. She's the one who looks like she's here to stay.
I'm on it.
Going to step up now. So hopefully, it'd be great to see her really come through. Because that first week, we thought, she clearly has skills and can do things. So,
and this week, obviously she won the technical, so she's clearly got that taste sensitivity. And she was decent in both of the other two.
Yeah.
You know, she was one of those where her failing in the signature was that it wasn't gingery enough. It wasn't that it was a bad cake. It just didn't actually tick the brief of what she was asked to make, which was a ginger cake.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We have to talk about Kimjoy's showstopper. Yeah, so Kimjoy won... very deservedly the Star Baker this
beautiful
week.
It was realms better than anyone else, but I think she knows how to play to her strengths.
Yeah,
And she was realistic. She did 28 biscuits because she knew she wanted to do some detailed decoration.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah. Why do 70 or 150?
150, Rahul, dude.
Yeah.
Because actually, if he'd scaled down what he was doing and be able to focus a bit more on executing a reduced number of biscuits,
Yeah.
it would have looked better.
Mm. And you can do other embellishments like Manon and
Yeah.
Kim Joy both did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do want to point out for Kim Joy, she had a little house with a little sign outside, and the postcode was Delish. DE1
So cute.
Yeah. So, like you say, the little touches absolutely elevated. Doing turtles rather than just profiteroles. If she'd done profiteroles last week, it would have been great and a really nice idea. She did turtle shoe pastry.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Just beautiful. She has lovely imagination, lovely execution, and she clearly thinks through her bakes from scratch to the end. You know, every detail is thought through.
Yeah.
Like really, really lovely, really beautiful.
I really hope to see her go far. Like Rahul, she's not had a week of struggling. And I also worry if it suddenly starts going wrong and the look of it doesn't come together, where the look of it is so important for her.
Yeah.
Does she have that ability to recover it?
Yeah, well,
we'll see.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, she's another I would love to see go really far in this.
Yeah,
She's done
me
so
too.
well. Yeah.
Me too.
A really pleased that she got the handshake and that she got Star Baker.
Yeah.
Just because she has been kind of in the middle each week.
Yeah, no.
And suddenly it came out and she did it well.
It's nice that because some weeks the beautifulness, the execution is there, but the flavours aren't quite there.
Yeah.
But yeah, this week she's been hitting a home run.
Yeah.
Yay.
And Manon almost got Star Baker, probably, was not far off it, I think. Having had a handshake as well, having had such a good thing. That checkerboard biscuit did look really good.
Beautiful.
So precisely done.
Yeah, really nice, really nice. And very adult.
Yes, yeah.
Because I suppose that called to me, because I thought Dan's butterflies were pretty, but I'm not really into the kiddie aspects. Just I'm not really into the kiddie cakes. I'd rather
he did
see
say
some.
He designed it for a 6-year-old.
Yeah.
So.
And I can, and also I imagine eating it. Well, just as Paul said.
Yeah.
All you can taste is the icing.
Yeah, yeah.
And again, not quite hitting the brief.
Yeah. And actually thinking about that in terms of that design of the biscuits, Kim Joy's biscuits, not to gush about Kim Joy anymore, but didn't have the cuteness factor that she did.
No.
It was a lovely snow scene.
Yeah, there were no cats.
Yeah.
It was just it was pretty rather than cute.
So just showing another bow in her quiver? Arrow in her quiver.
Yes.
Yeah. String to her bow.
String to her bow.
Feather in her cap.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so next week we have pastry.
Pastry.
One of my favourites. I like pastry week. Pies, hopefully both savoury and sweet.
Yes. I'm looking forward to the showstopper. The glimpses we got of the exciting looking pies that they were doing, that to me tells me they're going to do something really quite interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, a nice design like that rather than a technical the last couple of weeks that we've had where it has to all stay together and do really well. And
exactly. Make it about the flavours. Don't make it about the architectural skill.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Not sure what the technical was.
No, I'm not sure what the technical was.
Because we've had churros and things in the past, and this looked like a sort of hot served sizzling thing. So
I wasn't sure if that was the technical or the signature.
Oh, it could be, couldn't it?
Well, yeah, because it looked like someone was doing samosas.
Okay, we shall see what comes of that. We will be doing blancmange by then. We'll have a chat about a creamy cake.
Yeah.
A creamy mould thing.
Pudding.
And some cat tongue biscuits.
Yum.
Terrific. Join us next week on Worth the Calories.
Bye.